Welcome to the latest edition of Millennial Boom with Diane Faith and Stanley Roberts, where almost no subject is off limits. Now, here are your hosts, Boomer Diane Faith and Millennial at heart, Stanley Roberts.
Ooh, it is still on.
Yeah, I know you like that, huh? What's Look, my screen is black. Remember, I used to be all
Oh gosh, look at my head. The sun.
What about your head?
The sun is like right in my background. Good evening.
Good evening.
Look at your dancing. I'm on delay, so that's funny.
Hey, boom.
What's up, John? Yeah, the sun is like right behind me.
Yeah.
Good though. Yeah, your screen is a lot higher. You're using the
Yeah, Diane brought herself a little rack thingy.
what is it called? It's a laptop raiser or something.
No, it's not a razor.
A riser?
It's nothing shady.
A riser?
It's just a stand.
Yeah, I got a little.
No, I don't like the music for a little bit.
The laptop riser, so that if I'm not looking at the desk, I can still be on eye level.
No, we never get turned off, Gabriel. He just
wanted to keep it on for as long as possible.
Exactly. I was digging it.
He was digging it. He was gonna bust to move a few seconds from now.
I was going to break dance, but you made me stop. See, I was about to break dance. I'll break a bone, one or the other.
So what's going on, guys? We are almost at the tail. We are at the tail end of August. It is August 27th.
All right.
And we've got 4 more days until, well, the last day of August is in 4 more days. Well, yeah.
Yeah, guess what that also means? Countdown to tech season 2.0.
Hey, I already did my taxes.
Long time ago.
I did my taxes back in March.
Well,
Oh no, yeah, till like the end of March.
Well, the reason why it's 2.0 is because we had these terrible storms last winter. And houses were sliding down hills, cars were floating away, ducks were hanging out with cats, cats were hanging out with ducks. Oh, I got proof.
I mean, it was bad, but you made it sound like they're just chilling.
It was chilling. It was like, hey, the duck said, I got you. That's it.
The storms were pretty bad, so they did postpone tax season. When taxes are due, they did 2 extensions, right? Because one was initially they had done it not until April, but until July.
I didn't know that.
And then I didn't realize that they had postponed it until October because I thought July was the original date. Yeah.
Now here's an interesting part.
October 15th. Yeah.
So people who got money back already just filed it because they're like, I get my money. But people who I'll wait till
I'll wait.
minute.
Yeah. It's kind of like you want to wait to pay those taxes.
Yeah, you don't want to wait. But the weird thing is that when taxes due, you have to make the payment, even if you have to estimate what the payment is. And anything other than, which is kind of crazy that you have to estimate the payment.
Well, they were all about getting that money. All about making sure to get the money.
It's all about those Benjamins.
They'll just owe you back later if you overpaid, right?
Yeah, but it's funny, if you don't make a payment, they charge interest. If they don't make a payment, there's no interest.
That's why you have to make sure your payments are on time.
Morning, Chris. Good morning, Dave Man and Gabriel. If you're logging in
Morning, Chris.
From LinkedIn, it won't say your name. It'll say
LinkedIn user.
Yeah, or it was another one. The other one was
all I saw was LinkedIn.
Remember last one was Computer Man or something?
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I don't know if that was LinkedIn now. That might have been.
I think that was YouTube. Yeah.
So if you have
computer user, I think.
Computer user, yeah. It was like hella generic.
Yeah.
So we've been having a rash of changing subjects from the tax season. We've been having a rash of
burglaries.
Well, no, because those are going
robberies.
Forever. Yeah, but there's a little twist to these robberies.
Crime.
There's a little twist to them. Now, typically, you see a lot of, you think when you see these robberies, you think it's grown men out here robbing people, but they're catching people at ages of 13 to 19 doing these robberies. 13 years old in police pursuits. They try to run from the police. They're breaking their cars. They're stealing cars. And I think right now what the biggest, what the main car right now that's being stolen?
Lexus?
Nope.
Toyota?
Nope.
Honda?
Nope.
Hyundai?
Yep. Because the ones with the old ignition, there's a way to defeat it. So they're getting stolen. And the bad part is that they're using them. So there was at Alamo Square, which is where the Painted Ladies are in San Francisco. There was a recent, hello, Jeanette. There was a recent break-in which had some interesting dynamics to it. Remember the one recently?
Mm-hmm.
So first of all, it was a white Lexus IS 250, or it could have been a GS 350, I don't know. But it was definitely a sporter version of it. It pulls up and starts breaking into a car at Alamo Square. People start running over to it, and it was all over the internet. But the part that really was crazy was, and to some people, just like, they don't care, is what they thought, because as the people sped away, as they broke into the cars and sped away, they drove right by a sitting police car with lights on, and the officer sat inside. And of course, the unknowing residents or unknowing people on social media ran with that one because they thought, well, why is the cop just sitting there not doing anything? It was even to the point where I posted a tweet and says, you can blame that to
San Francisco
police commission.
Yeah.
And then
which is not the police.
Not the police.
Yeah.
Just
to be clear.
SFPD police commission is not the police. But they have powers to control what the police do. So
we have someone from France. Melissa.
Melissa, thank you.
Salute from Lyon, France. I'm sure it's not Lyon.
It's Lyon, France.
Lyon. Sorry. Please forgive me.
So let me continue this because I want you guys to understand this. So you saw the video, right?
I did see the video.
What did you think of it?
Because the way that they filmed it, they were focused on the people committing the robbery, and then with the car. And then as the car was driving off, that's when you realize, oh wow, there's police there. There's a police car sitting right there with a police officer sitting in the front seat or in the driver's seat. I was like, oh no, they didn't do anything.
Now, that
was my initial thought.
It's 4:29 a.m. in France right now. We have French. We have a person from France. We have Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm.
We'll pretty soon have Switzerland because when Stefan wakes up, he'll be on here in a few more minutes.
Mm-hmm. Or an hour.
An hour. So we welcome our international crowd. Oh, what's that say? Cuba? No. Do we have somebody here from Cuba?
Where do you see Cuba at?
I see Rachel Dirt. I don't know what that says, but it says just said Cuba.
Des de Cuba?
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Death Day. I don't know. Who can tell me what Death Day Cuba means? Could be something I don't even know about. You'd be like, hey, you're ugly. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow. I can't.
What's Death Day stand for?
I don't know.
Somebody tell me what that means. Death Day Cuba.
From
Cuba.
Cuba.
Well, now we have somebody from Cuba. Oh, man, we're just going straight up international. Hey, now. I love it. Thank you, all of you. So let me go back. So, without getting too far, Cuban Missile Crisis. Yes, I remember that. So the way it works is, so the car was focused on the car, and we saw it drive away. And I froze the video because I wanted to look inside the car and see if there was an actual police officer sitting inside.
Mm-hmm.
And he was there.
Yeah.
So back to the police commission, and John made a good point, is that they can set police department policy.
Yeah.
Now,
so just so that we're clear, how are people appointed to this commission?
Well, they were appointed. Okay, half of them were appointed by the mayor at one point.
Okay.
And then the other half was appointed by city council supervisors.
Okay.
So chased them around and gave chase, but lost him. Anyway, I'm going to read that again later. So I lost my thought.
People better move over. Stanley is now Mr. Worldwide.
So yeah, we got Cuba, France, Switzerland, Hong Kong. Hey, I love it.
Yes.
So going back to this whole thing about what happened at Alamo Square, and if you're a tourist, if you've ever been to San Francisco, Alamo Square is the same place where they have the Painted Ladies. The Painted Ladies, the Painted Ladies were in the movie or TV show.
When the movie, the
No,
TV show
opening for Full House.
Full House.
But that was not the Full House.
House.
It wasn't the house for Full House. That was on a different street. Everybody shows up thinking that's the house. That's the opening of
Full House.
Thank you. So we saw the officer was sitting there, so we know he didn't give chase. So that didn't even. I'm not even going to look at that one. Maybe someone else chased. I don't know, but he didn't give chase because
he said that he turned around and gave chase but lost him. That's what according to Bill Van Ram, SFPD put out a public announcement that the officer turned around and gave chase but lost him. So maybe that wasn't part of what was filmed.
Well, right, because I always know that there's sometimes parts of the video you can't see it.
Or they just didn't post that part, maybe. Who knows?
They didn't. I mean, but that being said, it's also close to Lower Haight and Hayes Valley, yes. And people who are from other countries like Cuba and Switzerland and Hong Kong, well, some people in Hong Kong may know. That's where, have you ever seen Beta Breakers? That's the area known as Hayes Hill.
That's a race,
It's a race we have every year. And Hayes Hill is right at I did a bunch of people behaving badly segments on the race. And if you ever did follow my work, one of the biggest stories I did was the fact that people are urinating all over the place.
Yeah. At
one time, and they were bringing their own toilet paper, and they put a fence around the park so people could stop doing it. They were whipping out their and pulling their down and doing that in public. It was a mess. So what we're finding out is this goes back to the Lexus. That car was a Lexus. So people are stealing these cars. What they do is once they steal them, they usually swap the plates on. Mm-hmm. So the car has stolen plates, or no plates at all, because there's been a rash of no cars with plates now. And SFPD has a police policy that they don't chase. And it's funny that they said that they chased later, because during the press conference, the chief of San Francisco said at the press conference that he followed policy by not chasing, because they have a policy that was handed down by the police commission. And back to the police commission, they're appointed by the mayor's office and by some supervisors, until they made themselves self-governing, and now they just do what they want to do. And there's no way. I mean, it's like you and me giving ourselves they say, you could do this podcast, but only for a few days, and we'll get somebody else. And then at some point during that time, we go, you know what? We're going to make this our own podcast. We're not giving it up to anybody else. We're going to make our own rules, and that's what we're going to do.
Sounds like some parts of America.
Yeah. Good evening, Chuck.
Good evening. Hey, Lord Frieza, what's up? Hello, God bless America.
Yeah, we got a nice little crowd here today, and again, welcome everyone. Also, while you're here, if you want to, you can. You're welcome to check out our QR code, which I just popped up. Support this chat. You can scan that if you want to. And it's funny though, when you scan it, we see the amount of time people scan it. So I won't see who does it, but I'll see that it was scanned. That'll be up for another half an hour, and then we'll take it down again. But what we're finding out is that there was another chase the other day. A chase that started in Contra Costa County. Mm-hmm. Out there in Antioch
County, and then went into San Francisco.
Always San Francisco. Now, to give you an idea, that's a pretty good drive. Always San Francisco, and then they boxed them in San Francisco.
And then they escaped and went back across the Bay Bridge.
He didn't just escape. He rammed a bunch of cars and he hit a police dog.
Yeah.
Police dog's okay.
K9, K9 officer.
K9 is okay, but they took him in and had him checked out to make sure he was all right. Mm-hmm. He went back across the bridge, and I think he ditched a car in Richmond where they did a foot pursuit. Now, here's the interesting part about that is that CHP will chase you. Mm-hmm. They'll chase you to the end of the state, to the end of the world. They'll just chase you. A lot of agencies have a no chase policy.
A lot of agencies here.
Yeah. So the reason why, let me just fix something real quick. I'm trying to change something. Give me 1 second. Oh, I know what I'm trying to do. I want to see the chat again. There's so much going on here. I wish I could show you the screen, but it's so much. So he bailed out on foot, and they found him and they arrested him, and he was a teenager.
15?
I don't remember the age.
Oh, okay.
But we don't know much. Out here in most states, when you're a minor, they don't tell you who you are. They just say it was a minor. But the problem we've been having, this has been going on for a long time. It's not new. Is that grown? I'm going to use the word grown-ass people be getting kids to go out here and commit crimes because they know the kids won't go to jail.
I mean, they closed down the juvenile hall in San Francisco.
Yeah.
So
Now there are some cities out here that will still chase you,
mm-hmm.
and they'll chase you. Santa Cruz like an hour and a half from here,
mm-hmm.
so they'll chase you. Then there's some that will not. San Bruno will chase, and that's good. I like it. Pacifica, I don't think they have a chase policy. I think they don't chase. I think Coma chases, but there are a lot that do not, and I don't know them all, but I know a few. And the reason why there are no chases is because the public complained. The public complains that, the chases are too dangerous. It's causing innocent people to be injured. So they stopped doing chases. And now they're like, why don't you catch these people?
Yeah, it's like you can't
have it both ways.
Yeah. I mean, when you're chasing, the goal is to get whoever you're chasing.
Yeah.
But safety still is top of mind, but it's sometimes hard when the streets are busy or freeways are busy.
And keep in mind, the bad guys changed the game. They're using stolen plates, they're using stolen cars, which they are taking to Oakland, and once they get done with them, and set them on fire.
Oh, really?
So there is a
specifically Oakland
huge rash of abandoned, stolen, stripped, set on fire cars in Oakland. Ken Houston did a little mini video on it and how bad it is out there and where the cars are just being dumped everywhere. And I even I saw a video the other day, I saw a video the other day where they stole an ambulance and all the stuff from the ambulance was on the ground.
Oh. Meaning to say they took out all the stuff and then they
even the gurney was on the ground, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. So trust me, Chris Maverick, you do not want to wish marshmallows. Thank you, Dave, man, for the $1 for the super chat. We thank you.
Thanks, Dave, man.
You don't want to cook marshmallows on a burning car.
Burning cars, I'll bring the marshmallows.
There's so many carcinogens in a car if it's on fire.
Yeah.
So many. Now, here is, and please, before you send me emails, tell me I'm telling the bad guys what to do. They already know this. But if you buy a car and the car has those pull back seats in the back of it, where you can pull the car back to put like extra space for luggage.
Oh, like when you're putting it in a trunk?
Right.
Or like if it's a hatchback.
Even if you have a regular trunk, but you have the little seats that pull up because you want to put something in there and a little extra room. Well, they know enough to punch the wing window, reach in, pull the lever, and look inside. And if they see anything of value, then boom, they break the window and they go. Now, today, I did something. I made it something I don't normally do. I've never done before. I created an affiliate account on Amazon. And I posted on Twitter. So one of my followers, nice guy, John Hamblin, I believe this is, showed me how he secured all of his gear in his car with a cable that he put a giant lock on. And that way he can avoid if they break in. Because if you watch the videos, these guys are climbing the window, grabbing it, and then taking off. And they're not like trying to get out bolt cutters.
They're trying to be
They're just trying to be real quick, in and out. So slow them down. Put in some cables. Now I made an affiliate link on my Twitter and Facebook, and you can click the link, and that way you can get to it. I did that because I just want you to be able to, instead of because they can just go to the hardware store. Yes, you can just go to the hardware store. Matter of fact, go to the hardware store. You don't have to click the link. But if you want to do something and you want to get it done quicker, and if you own a car rental company, these should be standard in the back of every car now. I know it's sad that we have to do this.
Yeah. But
for every action, there's a reaction, and you have to come up with a way to prevent. And I want to see this stop. I want to see all this stuff stop, but I don't see it into it right now. There's too much politics in it to keep it from stopping. But the times are changing. I'm watching more and more people are tired of this. They're fed up. And at some point they reach a breaking point.
Well, it's so sad that you got to wait until you reach a breaking point to make changes, though. We got to wait until a lot of people are fed up. Not just some people, but we have to wait till a lot of people are fed up to do something.
Now, it's interesting that you mentioned that because a lot of people, and this is what I hate about the social media, is they make it a red and blue. They say if this was a red state, we wouldn't have this. But that's not true, because I've seen some cities that are predominantly Republican that have the same issues. They're robbing, they're stealing, but you don't see that manifested on social media as much as when someone is committing a crime. Another thing that really bugs me is that every time there's a crime committed, there are some people, and I call them trolls, and I'm going to use the word trolls. They always blame it on black people. They say, "Oh, it's," and this one guy who posts every single time, and he says, "Oh yeah, do you see a pattern?" Right? And I know pattern.
Pattern.
Do you see it? How do you say it?
Do you see a pattern?
Yeah. Do you see a pattern? And I'm like, and it drives me. It actually literally makes me mad because it's not just the black people that are doing the robberies. It's black people, white people, Samoans, Asians, black. Everybody's committing crimes.
You said black twice.
Oh, whatever. But then, like the one they just
It is, but it depends on it's. So you only see what you see.
Right.
So like.
So they highlight that more.
Just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening.
So there was another one they just made. CHP just made a huge bust. $85,000 worth of Victoria's Secret products. $85,000 for Victoria's Secret. That's a lot of draws.
Victoria's Secret's still a thing?
What?
I'm sorry. I haven't used Victoria's Secret in a long time, but I don't know.
Almost said something. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. And
yes,
so
please keep your mouth shut.
So they arrested these two guys, which they also found in the car other stuff from other places like Lululemon, Sunglass Hut, all those places that have been hit. And the two guys they arrested were of Hispanic descent. And you can tell from the names. But, it's funny that the first thing people do is blame it on blacks. And I'm not saying everybody does that. So a lot of people on social media, and that's what the problem we're having right now is that we're being blamed for everything. And I say we because if you ever notice, I am black.
You are?
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Oh, crap.
But it's just like the thing I had the other day where I went to the restaurant and the lady thought I was going to steal her purse.
Wait, Chris said $85,000 from Victoria's Secret.
That's five bras. That's a lot.
Except if it's a semi-annual sale, then there's
maybe
it's
four
like
bras, six bras.
No, maybe it's like 10 bras. Yeah.
But the truth be told, is that the people committing the crimes are all different. How do you say it? Because I was there wrong. Thank you. Ethnicities. So it's not just. I got it.
No, just say it with me.
I got it.
Ethnic.
I got it.
Do you?
I got it.
Okay, try it again.
No. All right, moving on. Thank you, Big Bucks, Bradley. And in Chicago is having a problem. Philadelphia is having a problem. And Philadelphia is where I come from, and I see the video of all the fentanyl zombies. And yes, that's derogatory, but you know what? I'm not going to sugarcoat is what's going on here.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Everybody wants to sugarcoat it and give them a that's all right. I get a lot of
ethnicity. Yeah, but I was like, I had to read that because I was like, oh yeah, that is how he says it.
But I'm watching crimes some things are happening in Texas. I'm watching them that are happening in other states that are having the same problem that people are claiming. So it's like, well, if you just vote because everybody keeps voting blue and that's why we have this. No, it's not. And I do admit that there is a group of progressives that are behind a lot of it. A lot of the laws that are being changed. There's a new one they want to pass now, SB 50.
Oh no, is this the one that I hate? I mean, not hate, but is this the one where
the new one, SB 50, is Senate Bill 50, and they want to make it so that law enforcement can no longer stop cars for just for random stops. They want them to focus on crime and not bad drivers but
bad drivers sometimes lead to actual discovery of crime.
Hayward, is it Hayward PD or Hayward CHP? I'm not sure which one. I got to go back and look, but I posted it how they caught a guy who had a car full of, I think it was Hayward PD. Yeah, he had a car full of stuff going to go commit a crime. And yeah, statistics are facts. I'm not going to argue the fact that statistics are facts, but sometimes, and let's keep this in mind, statistics can be altered because people, if you don't report a crime, it never happened.
Yeah.
So
I feel like we've said that before
100,000 times. If you don't report the crime, then there's no statistics to go off of. So statistics can be flawed because not everybody wants to report the crime that happens.
Yeah. So something could be happening more frequently.
And no one's reporting it. So if you don't report it, it never happened. So, people say, and I agree, some statistics can be considered facts, but statistics can also be flawed.
Mm-hmm.
You have to, like, let's say you fill up your car 10 times a month, but you only record filling it up 5 times. Well, there's no proof that you filled it up 10 times because we only have the documentation of the 5 times.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm not trying to stir any kind of pots. I'm just looking at it as as both sides of the coin.
And Bill Van Ram says stopping bad drivers catches bad guys. Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, there's the potential that if someone is driving really recklessly on a road, if someone is speeding, if someone is trying to get away from a scene, they could be driving rambunctiously, right?
Rambunctiously,
or recklessly. But so yes, there is potential that if you catch someone on a traffic stop, you stop someone, on a traffic stop because they are breaking the law, how they're driving, then they might be breaking the law in other ways.
Yeah, and Eric the Viking made a good comment. He says statistics can be skewed to fit a narrative, along with manipulating the data. That is absolutely right. You can do whatever you want when it comes to data. All you got to do is put a decimal point in the wrong spot, or just leave out some important, just like there was a problem in San Francisco where they were saying crime is down. They were saying it over and over again. Crime is down. You know why? Because people stopped reporting the crime.
Because no one was showing up.
Because no one was showing up. So they said, well, why do I need to report it if no one's going to show up? Mm-hmm. And I get that. If you're not going to, if a crime happens, go online and report it. So anyway, back to SB 50. Traffic stops for minor offenses are racist, they said. Yes, thank you, Gabriel Shapiro.
The California
they claim that because they said it impacts black and brown people more than anybody else. But I have an old saying: if you're not doing anything wrong, then that's just. I've never been pulled over for doing the right thing. Not once did a cop go, "I'm pulling you over because you stopped at that red light." Nope, never happened. I'm pulling you over because you had both hands on the wheel. Nope, never happened. They did pull you over once for, the speed limit is 30, you're doing 50. Okay, you got me. I'm right. You're right. Hello, Terrence.
Good evening, Terrence.
And yeah, you're right. Same with pollsters. Jeanette wrote that the pollster surveys, they interview certain groups. Mm-hmm. And they get
certain information.
So here's a really good one I saw once that reminded me and made me laugh. And it was on Jimmy Kimmel show. Where on the Jimmy Kimmel show, they went out and did a poll. Mm-hmm. But the poll was meant to be skewed.
Okay.
And they got the answer they were looking for. Because people just don't know. They answered the poll blindly without even knowing what they were talking about. It was something random, some bizarre thing. I don't remember what it was, but it was funny. It was a funny skit, but it was kind of sad.
Sad because people didn't know?
They made up their own thing.
Okay.
It's like they do a thing where they do on the Jimmy Kimmel on the street. And yes, I do watch Jimmy Kimmel. Ever since I was featured on his show, I've been a big Jimmy Kimmel fan. And people don't like him, but you know what? It is what it is. Demographics and locations factor too. Yes, demographics and locations factor absolutely. If you're in a high minority-based area, you're going to have a high level of minority-based crimes. That's a given. Mm-hmm. If you're in a area that is high with Asian, you're going to have a high crime rate for Asian crime. Don't get me wrong now. There are people targeting people for their race.
John says there was also the whole thing where if you don't have a policy of arresting people for doing something, it doesn't make it into crime statistics.
Exactly. So that's important. And I think that's left out a lot because we get into social media and a lot of us are guilty of this. You guys read the title, and then you draw a complete conclusion strictly off the title.
Yeah.
You know how I know this? Because I've written some titles, and then people come back to me and goes, well, why didn't you do X, Y, Z? And I said, I did do X, Y, Z. It's 1 minute in. You know what their answer is? Oh, yeah, I didn't watch the video.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like newspaper headlines too. You like read the headline, but then you think you know the whole story just by reading the headline, and you actually don't.
You don't know the story.
No.
So many, many times, I've done stories where people come back to me and go, well, you should have done this in there. If you had done this, it would have been a better story. And I said, did you watch the story? Well, no, I didn't actually watch it. Well, then it's in there. Oh, then I'll go back and watch it. But see, you've already jumped to conclusions before and didn't check, didn't check what I wrote or what was done because you're so busy scrolling. You just I want to write something. And I like it when you write something and it has nothing to do with the story we posted.
That's how you know the person didn't read it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, sorry, I almost got a tangent for a second. All right. So play catch up on the reading.
Like we know, around 700 people are going to die of drug ODs in San Francisco this year. At least 700 people sold drugs that killed someone. That is a crime, and we do know it happened.
Yep.
And also, if someone died because of felony you commit, technically that's felony murder. That's actually what Chase's parents were in jail for.
Well,
Chase Boudin.
And then he also said he mentioned about the 700 homicides that were never mentioned in statistics.
Mm-hmm.
So 700 people died from drug overdoses, according to what John wrote. But since they wrote it off as a health issue, it doesn't become a crime. See, that's how you manipulate the books.
Yeah. That's some shady-ish.
Well, that's how you could. And
that's how you skew it.
Yes, how you skew it. And it's crazy because everybody is guilty of something one way or another. There was an agency in Northern California where the chief was let go because he broke a law.
Mm-hmm.
His punishment was to get probation for 1 year, and if he didn't commit any crimes, he can get his job back as a chief. Now, how does that work in the real world if the people who are made to uphold the law can get their jobs back after they break the law? Because I can't, if I were to break the law right now, I'd be on probation. I couldn't even get anything that way. I couldn't vote. I can't do anything. I would never.
So after a year, he was cleared because he didn't commit any crimes and he got his job back?
Yeah, he didn't get any crimes.
In the real world, I'm not sure if that would actually happen. Like if that happened, like if I.
In the real world, that is real world.
No, well, I mean, yeah, that is real world. But I'm saying, like, so this was, you said this was within an agency?
Yeah, an agency. I'm not going to mention anything because I'm not trying to throw people under the bus.
So I'm trying to figure out if this would happen. Do you think? Well, I guess you do see that kind of happen a lot.
It happens a lot now.
Yeah.
It didn't used to be that way. Now you get away with everything. If you're high up in the food chain, you get away with a lot. And that's where the problem is, that the people high up in the food chain are getting away with crimes. And now the people that were down on the food chain are doing it now. And they're getting away with crimes. And now we're like, what's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Well, because we've kind of like just gave up. And, it's like, how do we not implode on ourselves?
Mm.
And then social media kind of made it all a cluster. Because now everybody has their own opinion, whether it's a good opinion or a bad opinion, whether it's right or wrong, whether it's left or right, whether it's black or blue or red or whatever. Mm. Everyone has an opinion, and opinions are like booties. Everyone, they all stick.
Booties, to put it nicely. Betty Veronica says.
Yes, you're right. I'm not going to touch that beehive. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, Bill Van Ram, you're right. That whole COVID thing was crazy. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just reading. Betty Veronica says, if people stop trying to blame specific groups for all the crimes, rather than looking at case-by-case individuals and having equal justice no matter who commits the crime, nothing will change.
Yeah. Can you grab me some water over there, please? I'm sorry.
Perhaps.
Some, how do you pronounce this?
Gerolsteiner?
Gerolsteiner, yeah. Love this water.
We love it.
Yeah. It's so bad, though, because the place we go to, people found out we love it, so now they never have it anymore.
Well, it's hit or miss.
Hit or miss, yes.
Chris says, skewed stats are funny. I can speak to one that they do in China, which is baffling. They claim to have a super low divorce rate compared with other nations, but they classify divorce as only happening within the same calendar year in which you got married. Wow. So basically, if you get married, let's say you got married this year of July, and then you get a divorce in December of the same year, it counts as a divorce. But let's say you got married July of this year, but then you got a divorce next July or next August. That means it wouldn't count as a divorce anymore because it's not in the same calendar year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So what do they classify it as then, Chris? If it's not a divorce like a year or two from now, what do they call it? That's interesting.
Yeah,
I did not know that. Let's see. Jeanette says scapegoating and stereotypes have gone on in this world since the beginning of civilization.
But God Bless America made a very important point here, which I want to read out loud.
You didn't give me the water back.
Oh, that's okay.
We're sharing.
Stanley, pleased to meet you.
Well, thank you.
So he wrote that thanks you reminded me. We need to have a common ground and talk and have a conversation. But social media has kind of destroyed that. And you're right, because social media destroyed it to the fact where if you try to have a civilized conversation, someone will try to either derail the conversation or troll it.
Yeah.
And they think it's funny because they're trolling it from an anonymous account. And the truth is, if you start trolling me, and I look on your account, you have like 5 people, 6 people, 10 people, and I'm gonna block you because I know what you're doing. Yeah, I see that one.
Okay, so Chris says it's still a divorce, but it's not counted as a statistic. They just brush it under the rug. Okay, got it. So it's still called divorce, but it just doesn't count. That is very interesting.
She wanted water.
Yes, I wanted water. And I got my water, and I put the water back in the right place.
So we got a troll that just popped on here, and it won't let me, for some reason, it won't let me do it. I'll do this. All right. Oops. I just refreshed the page completely. Anyway, so we had a person on here that's trolling a little bit, so we just put them on timeout, I think. And they're using a YouTube platform, so you guys can feel free to shut them down too if you want to, if you can. So the important part is that we need to come to a common ground,
there just needs to be conversation.
God Bless America said. There needs to be real conversations.
Real conversations, yeah.
And not the fake ones that we've been having lately, or the ones that are like so derailed. And a lot of people, like we lost one of our favorite viewers because I guess he got into an argument with somebody while we were chatting, and he hasn't been back since. And I don't know what the argument was about. We just know that he just stopped coming on. He got into an argument with someone, and that's what happens is that people who have good intentions end up with arguments with people who may or may not have bad intentions, or they just simply disagree with each other.
And because they disagree, then it's just like, it's hard because sometimes when you just don't see this eye to eye with someone, instead of agreeing to disagree, a lot of people are then like avoiding.
Yeah.
They're just like, okay, well, you don't see it how I see it, and I'll try to convince you. And if I can't convince you, then I'm gonna leave you alone and I'm just going to avoid the situation. Instead of just like coming to common ground that like, hey, we're just not gonna agree. And that's okay. Like everyone's entitled to their own opinions. But when you think about it, if it's hurting a majority of people, or it's hurting, like a city, or hurting something, like there needs to be like a meeting in the middle.
Yeah, and Lord Freedom wrote who? It was David F. Baum. He was here for a while. And, whether he made a donation or maybe he made a super chat donation or not, we enjoyed this conversation. Mm-hmm. And so he just, got mad. I don't know if he got mad at us or mad at someone else, but he hasn't been back. He kind of bailed about a month ago, and we haven't seen him since.
Yeah, I think it was that long.
So,
yeah, Chris says, I try not to argue online. It seems pointless at times. Like, I think online, like, it's very true. Online, because it's one of those things where, like, you can't see the person face to face. It's not a continuous conversation. It's like I'll post and respond here, and then a day later, another person will post. What I mean is that, like, there needs to be these conversations and these meeting of people where like you're in person, like you're having a forum, like we're getting together and we're discussing issues and we're trying to find middle ground. It's not this whole like let's talk online, let's hash out our differences online. No, let's hash out our differences in person, because in that case, that's when you can have the continuous conversation. Social media just breaks things up.
Yeah. So you're right. So Bill Van Ram and Maverick is that text is often misunderstood on spoken words.
Yeah.
Now, I've said this 100 times, and this is my take on text. So let's say Diane and I are texting each other, and now she's just totally upset with me.
And you hear it. You hear it. When we read text, let's face it, we hear it in a different voice than maybe the person is writing it, right? So we imagine things. Like I might read it as like, oh, you're angry, but in fact you're not.
Right. So yeah. So it sounds, and everything you say, it sounds like you're angry or defensive. And that's something we talked about the other day in the car.
Mm-hmm.
That this new thing now, and we think this may come down from our parents when we were growing up, is that you can't defend yourself without being told that you're overly defending yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Because I grew up being told like not to talk back. I grew up being told that like like don't answer back, don't talk back. So whatever, like for example, if something happened and I wanted to explain myself, or I wanted to say, oh, this is how I feel, or this is why I did this, I couldn't, because it was considered answering back. And if I answered back, I got spanked. So I was raised to not say anything like back in response to my parents, in like either trying to justify doing something or how I felt, because it didn't matter. I whatever I said would be answering back. So we then sometimes I notice too that when you get older as an adult, this can happen in the workplace. Like you can try to explain yourself, or like to a a superior or something, right? And then they'll just think you're being defensive, but in actuality you're just trying to explain yourself. So I feel like we're often told not to speak, not to answer back.
Well, no, but what happens is, yeah, you're right. And when you go into social media and someone says, "Oh, that piece you did was horrible," right? And you go back, "Well, actually, I wrote it based on the effects that I have." Oh, now you're just being defensive.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, so you can state your opinion, you can state how you feel, but it's not okay for me to do that. Like there needs to be this constant like receive, like talk, receive, talk, receive. Yeah. There's a thing called active listening. It would be nice if people would actually do it.
Now let's go backwards for a second, because when I first started doing people behaving badly,
mm-hmm.
I was frozen because I want to tell you, I want to have a dramatic pause.
Okay.
When people started sending me messages, and none of them were hate messages, I didn't know how to take that. It was like, what is going on? Why are these people sending me these nasty messages?
You probably never got so many
at one time. Imagine getting like 100 messages, and they may or may not be. Some of them are nice. Some of them are like, "Oh man, I love your work." And then you have one that goes, "Oh, you suck, and I hope you die." Matter of fact, here's another good example. Remember I had a stroke, right? Some people actually posted one when I had the stroke. They said, the second stroke, they say, is a fatal one. Hurry up and have it. Those are the kind of stuff you get people. People don't understand that when you're in the public eye, people think they can write and say whatever they want. Back in whatever they want to you, whenever they want to. I'm just laughing because he grew up with pagers. Yes, I did. So
I grew up with pagers too.
And we all did.
Yeah.
So it's really interesting when you deal with the public and you have a public persona, that people think that they can say whatever. But let me make it clear to you, only on social media.
Is it okay for people?
No,
well, not okay.
No. What I'm saying is that only happens on social media. I've met people in real life who I know said nasty stuff about me online.
But don't say it in person?
Don't say it in person. They're like, oh, hey.
Because they have a computer to hide behind.
Exactly.
Oh, and then speaking of, this month.
8 years ago.
This month marks 8 years since you had your stroke.
8 years I had the stroke.
August 25th?
Yeah.
No, 28th.
August 25th.
August 25th.
Yes, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Friday.
Yes. So.
I'm so happy you're here.
But it was weird. You had a stroke, and then the messages you get from people they were conciliatory. A lot of people were very conciliatory.
Do you like that I'm doing this?
But then you have the ones that were sending stuff like, I hope you have another one so you can hurry up and die. Or this or that. So that's, and I never made that kind of stuff public. Oh, and by the way, I want to say happy birthday to one of our guys. His birthday was, remember the guy from London?
We were supposed to say happy birthday
last week. His birthday was Wednesday.
Oh, happy birthday!
So I don't know if he's even on there or not. He used a different name. He doesn't want me to say his name on Twitter. And I can't remember his name when he came on here. But we're talking about, you like to drink a lot of beer. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
We're not going to sing happy birthday. We're just going to say happy birthday. All right. Anonymity is guaranteed behind the computer. They don't.
So I can never say that word correctly. Anonymity.
So ironically, I remember I had the weateair.com, the one that became.
I remember
when they became yoked, but I didn't get nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a guy who was trolling our pages. He was hardcore trolling our pages, and I guess he figured he was anonymous, but he didn't realize that I had the ability to look up his IP address,
Mm-hmm.
and it tracked me back to a university in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot which university it was. And he was logging in on a computer in their break room, in their lunchroom.
Mm-hmm.
Shocked when I announced when I told him I know where he's at and what he's been doing. Stop doing it. Once you take away the level of being anonymous, it changes everything.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe, just maybe, in some cases, your account shouldn't be anonymous anymore.
You know what I really wish? You know what I really wish?
That
This has along the lines to talk what you said,
What?
that maybe your account shouldn't be anonymous anymore. What I really wish is that people who remain anonymous and talk all the ish because they're anonymous, I wish that they could see how it felt if what they're saying and treating people and how they're treating people is like reciprocated, that instead of what they're doing to you or like to anybody else, that it happens to them, so that they can see, oh, that's how it feels like to be treated that way. I shouldn't treat people that way.
Mhm.
You know, like it sounds like kind of like a movie, like instead of being anonymous, like, or you know, do you know what I'm saying?
Like, it should be like a.
It's
They should
like
make
a kind of like
they
a
should make
switch.
They should make
like,
a Black Mirror about that. That'd be crazy.
I feel like is there
Not that for you to the point where they can track you down.
Yeah, so like let's say that I'm trying to like, you know, I'm talking hella ish about you online or
Hella
whatever.
ish?
Hella ish about you online. But instead, when I talk ish about you online and I'm typing something, like it actually reverses and comes back at me, and someone is doing it to me. So whatever I do to someone, it's like the golden rule. It's like whatever I do to someone, it actually comes back and it happens to me. So that makes me stop doing it because I don't want it to happen to me.
Well, John made a good important point. He says
Anyways.
they know they know how it feels. It's just why they do it. It makes them feel powerful.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's true. I mean, sometimes people do it because it's done to them,
But then sometimes,
which is really effed up because it shouldn't be done to them either. But
sometimes when you mess around with a bull, you get the horns.
sometimes when you F around, you find out.
No, yeah, when you FAFO.
FAFO.
So, you know, and they go crazy and they do stuff, or they track you down, or they make it, they figure out who you are and they get personal. And they want to find out where you live at. They want to find out what you, and the ironic part about that is that every single day, people out in the world give away enough information about them to make other people dangerous.
Mm.
On the back of their car, it may have mom and 5 kids, which means she's a single mom with 5 kids.
Or like
And a dog.
My daughter's an honor roll student at so and so.
Or they have an Apple logo on their window. What's that tell me?
Or they have a CT logo on their gas tank. I saw someone the other day. He thought it was a Caltrans. He thought it was a Caltrans van. In actuality, it was a personal vehicle with a Caltrans sticker on it.
Yeah. But you know, even like Apple, some people like to put like Glock. You know, I got Glock. Whatever that tells me that you may have a gun in the car.
Yeah.
Because I know you like Glock, so then maybe you have a gun in the car.
Mm-hmm.
There are cases where people have done, you know, I mean, you just stuff about you. It tells you, okay, so bumper sticker says, my kid is an honor student at X Middle School.
Mm-hmm.
So now you know the kid goes to school. So you just wait. And then you know what Jack Frost Christmas is?
No.
I told you in the car the other day.
Oh, I might.
It's when they break in your car, steal your remote.
Oh, yeah.
Get your registration.
Yeah.
Come back and rob your house.
Yeah, I hate that.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about that.
What? No, it's a real deal.
I know. People, people are so mean. No, it's worse than
Stanley,
mean.
do you know where Marcus was laid to rest? I want to visit him. You know, I don't know. I have to reach his nephew and see if I can remember by next week. I got a lot on my plate for next week. But if I remember, I'll try to reach out to him and he can tell me. I don't know where he was laid to rest at. He might have been cremated. I'm not sure. And anyone doesn't know who Marcus Malone is, he was one of Carlos Santana's original band members.
Yeah.
But he went to jail when So he went to jail, and Carlos and his band went to Woodstock.
In
And
16,
so, and
16.
yeah, way back then, whatever
Yeah.
year it was. So, and then they got reunited. They got reunited a few years back. And
because of
for
your
the story I did about illegal dumping, ironically. What else I wrote? I did a thing the other day, a poll. Oh, remember the flag I posted?
Yeah.
Because you know why I posted that though? Do you know why I posted it?
Yeah, because of the post that I had read to you earlier that day.
And what was the post you read to me?
Something along the lines of why aren't people posting the Hawaiian flag
Based on what happened.
Based on what happened with the fire.
And I said I don't think most people even know what the Hawaiian flag is.
Yeah.
So how would they know to post it? And so, but if you look at the Hawaiian flag, it has the British, the Union Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Is it called Union Jack?
I think that's what you read. Yeah.
Yeah. So, which is British. So it's kind of confusing, but I know the history. But it's weird because the flag is, and then there's a flag for the people. There's another flag that was created that deals with, it's different, and it's for the indigenous people of Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
But the Hawaiian flag right now it has red and white stripes, like the American flag, but then it has the British Jack where the stars would be.
Oh, yeah.
So I think the other one is a pineapple of some sort, right? I haven't seen it, but it's like yellowish. It looks like a pineapple in the middle. You're looking for the different flags. So there's another one, but it's the indigenous one.
Oh, wait, let me see.
What did Jeanette was spot on? Let me see. Betty, I see all the time. And hello.
Oh yeah, is it this?
Betty's on, and I don't see her again.
Yeah. But I only see Betty in the YouTube chat, but not in the actual chat with all of them together.
Yeah, I see YouTube chat, but not Betty.
You don't see Betty in the YouTube chat?
No, I see Jeanette. She's YouTube.
Oh.
Lord Freeze is YouTube.
I see Betty.
God Bless America. Eric the Viking. I feel like every time I read Eric the Viking, I feel like he's sitting there with a big old
wow.
with a Viking hat on. Just like I told JJ Smith, his Twitter account has a
face palm.
A face palm.
Yeah.
And so it feels like every time I send him a message
that he's like disappointed in you. Yeah.
I feel so disappointed every time I send him a message because he's like.
Yeah.
And someone made fun of me because they go, how come you first of all, I laugh, I smile, right? Why are you smiling? It makes it look like you're happy what's going on. So then I had a Facebook message. Well, you're not smiling, why don't you smile?
You can't do anything
do anything right.
Did you know that?
Yes.
You cannot do anything
I know, you taught me
right. Yeah, that's not true.
Yeah, it is.
That's not true.
You taught me that.
No, it's not.
No, you did. You said you can't do anything right. I wake up in the morning, she goes, will you stop it?
That constant breathing
in and out over and over again. It's driving me crazy.
Oh,
my favorite, and this is my newest one.
Eric, go. I was going to say, Eric said, perhaps I'm wearing a helmet with horns.
I know.
Oh, man.
So I have a snoring problem.
I think that's an understatement. A problem. That's an understatement.
So Diane can't sleep when I snore.
Okay.
Okay, but here's the best part. So when I don't snore, she can't sleep.
Oh, gosh, you guys.
She says, I'm like, well, why couldn't you sleep? Well, because you weren't snoring, so I wasn't sure if you're okay or not.
So one night what happened was, so I went to sleep before he did, and I don't know when he got in the bed, but then I woke up and I realized he was next to me. And I was like, oh my gosh, like he's not snoring. And so I'm like,
she must be dead.
Wait, no, I didn't say, oh, he's dead. But what I did was I took my hand and I just go like this. And I'm like, what did I say? I think I said,
are you okay?
Oh, I said, yeah, everything okay?
I'm like, yeah, why?
Everything okay?
I was like.
And he responded, and I was like, oh, thank God he's breathing.
I'm like, so let me get this right. So it used to be that I would sleep out here because I'll fall asleep out here because.
It's because I had a weird work schedule, so
yeah.
I would fall asleep first, and then if you came in, you would wake me up, and I would wake up like 3 hours before I needed to wake up. Yeah.
So if I tried sleeping out here sometimes in the living room, so that way I wouldn't disturb her with my snoring. And then she said I couldn't sleep because you weren't here.
Yeah, it's true. It's weird. It's weird that I can't sleep because he's snoring, but if he's not there, I have a hard time sleeping. Or if he's there but not snoring, then I'm like, oh my gosh, is he breathing? I don't know. I can't. Yeah, you're right. You can't do anything right. That's true. Okay.
If I snore, I wake you up. If I don't snore, I wake you up.
Yeah.
If I sleep on the couch, I wake you up. If I sleep in the bed, I wake you up.
Yeah.
So I'll just, I mean, what do? Sleep in the car, and then do I put one of those baby monitors next to you so you can hear me snore, so at least you know I'm in the house?
No. Oh wow. Okay, that was a little too much. Too much.
I used to have a CPAP machine for years due to sleep apnea. Yeah, those things are interesting. I've heard about them. A 4.0 earthquake just was reported in Lake County, Ohio. Wow, 4.0.
Did you feel it, or I'm not familiar with the Ohio area? Are you close enough?
Breaking news, people. There was a 4.0 earthquake in Lake
County.
In Lake County, Ohio.
How you gonna do breaking news but then forget what you say?
Well, because the other people have a script.
Okay, so Gabriel, are you close to that area? And wow, an earthquake in Ohio though?
End of the world, baby.
Really?
Yes, that's how we know it. Oh, so we're going to wrap this up, but we want to have a quick conversation about life.
Okay, he's nowhere near Lake County. Okay, I wasn't sure. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure about the geography of Ohio, TBH. So
we're going to have our final discussion. This was kind of creepy. You don't know what I'm talking about?
What?
You don't know what I'm talking about. It's creepy.
The earthquake?
No.
Oh, the out of spirit?
Yes.
No.
So we've been watching. I guess me. I've been showing the Diane.
Yeah.
Of videos of people of quote unquote spirits leaving the human body when they pass away. And there's several of them out there. One of them was a guy was getting beat up, and then in the video it shows a surveillance video of what appeared to be like a spirit entity coming from out of the guy getting beat up and scares the other guy away, and he runs away, and then the spirit goes back into the guy's body, and the guy gets up and walks away. And we're like, what is going on here? Another case where another guy was flatlined on the gurney in the hospital, and then it's another, how they have the surveillance video.
Mm-hmm.
Then you see his body get up and leave. His spirit.
Yeah, you showed me that one too.
And so the discussion we had wasn't about the spirit realm. It was more about whether or not they were heaven or hell. And that was a discussion you and I had
this morning.
And I had a really weird take on it, but you didn't quite agree with.
And that's the thing. Me and you don't agree on everything either, right?
Yeah.
Going back to that little tidbit, me and you don't agree on everything, and that's totally fine. I would think it would be weird if we actually did agree on everything.
So here's you want to hear my take?
I heard your take already.
So tell your take.
You're saying.
I'm gonna let you hear my take.
Take.
So my take was that is that
your leg?
No, that's the cat that we just bought.
I wasn't sure if that was your leg, so rather than being sarcastic, just tell me yes or no. We don't have to do that.
So here's my take, and you can take it with a grain of salt. But a grain of salt. Earth is light years away from any other.
Wait, real quick. Veronica says Diane's reactions to Stanley's over-the-top comments are on point.
Shut up.
I mean.
So, you should see us. We go back and forth all the time.
I know, it's funny though.
I know. We go
back and forth, not like arguing. We go back and forth like having fun.
Yeah.
Like making fun. Yeah,
exactly.
We roast each other. It's funny.
So back to what I was trying to say before we wrap this bad puppy up, was that my take is that yes, I do believe that everybody has that you have a spirit in you, and when you pass away, the spirit leaves your body and goes somewhere else. So the body just something, I just don't believe that we're just here and So my take was, without getting too far into details, is that once you pass away, we're a billion years from the next planet. I think, and the universe is so vast that there's got to be other planets. So I'm thinking that once we pass away, we head up to a different planet and we start all over again. But we don't know it because we start from scratch.
So like our minds or our histories just kind of erased because we're starting all over
Now,
again.
some people will tell you that they've been around before.
They feel like an old soul, right?
Like my daughter, like Brooke, when she was born, I swore on my mama's grave that she was an old soul because her actions were of a kid who had been around for a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, she's not an old soul because her actions are like someone who's been around for like 30 years ago.
You literally just.
I know. I want to make sure I repeat it enough that people get that part. So my take is, and I don't know if it's true or not. I'm not one of those fanatics where, oh yeah, the whole world we're going to. But I believe that once you do it, you pass on to a different universe, and then you start over again. And I think this may actually be jail.
Oh, you know what? I've heard a lot of people actually say that they think that this is hell.
It could be.
I mean, I thought they were both like this. I don't know. I've heard people think that I've heard people say that they believe
I think this is jail.
that Earth is hell.
I think it's jail, and when we have the alien sightings, we're coming back to check on the inmates.
Oh my god.
And now we got people trying to, and then we're seeing more because we got the inmates trying to escape.
I will just say, I personally do not believe that this is the end. Like, I really believe that once we die, that this is not the only life that we are supposed to be living.
Right.
So, and I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Well, but you could come back as like an alien with like 6 eyes.
I mean, who actually knows though?
Yeah, but what if you came back, right? And then you came back and you were in another planet that had the technology, because they're literally finding, they found some metal ore somewhere that was nothing of like they've ever seen on Earth ever. Where'd it come from? I'm just saying. And Earth, I believe Earth is a prison for all of us because we screwed up somewhere in life and we're here, and now we're suffering the life of being in prison. And with every prison, at some point we have to get a new cell. What you laughing at?
God bless America said Trader Joe's parking lot is hell.
No,
Costco's parking lot is hell.
Oh,
Costco is way worse than Trader Joe's. Well, actually, I think it depends, because if you go to Costco near a Trader Joe's, then they can both be hell.
Wait, I just read something from Lord Frieza. Can you find that one for me?
Death is usually more complicated.
It's actually more complicated.
That's what I said. Death is
You
actually
said
more
usually.
complicated. Oh, I did?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Death is actually more complicated. Once you die, you kind of have options. 1, reincarnation. 2, heaven. 3, rebirth in a different time or location.
What if you came back on the 405 freeway?
Oh yeah, that is hell.
Oh wait.
That's right. That's hell. I've been on the 405 freeway like for hours.
What if you came back as the 405 freeway?
Really? I would not want all those people riding on me.
Oh yeah, they'd be riding on you all day long.
Oh my god. I'm not going to even continue with that.
Oh, like what did you just say?
No.
Oh, all those people riding on you? Come on.
I'm not going to even do that. Nope. Betty Veronica says, as long as my spirit gets reunited with my former pet spirits and some good family, I'll be content.
So interesting that my mom passed away December 9th, about 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. No.
More than 10?
14 years ago.
Was it really 14?
It'll be 14
2009.
years in December 2009.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. Ironically, when she passed away, my mom she passed away, she was a Jehovah's Witness. Mm-hmm. They don't believe in heaven or hell. They believe in common grave of mankind. But so I had to go back and I had to have 2 separate services, one at the mortuary and one at her Kingdom Hall. And so after everything was done, I did all the work and got her everything, cleaned her house out and got her, cremated and got her, everything I needed. I went back to the hotel that I rented to set up office in New Jersey. Mm-hmm. Back by myself, walked in the door, walked into the room and started taking my clothes off. And I heard my mom say my name as she sounded like she was going far away, like she was leaving. Like she was leaving. But I heard clearly Stanley. And you can see my hair standing straight up. But it sounded like she was like, I'm leaving, but I hear her say Stanley. But it was like she was going away as she said it. Mm-hmm. Left chills. I'll never forget that sound to this day. I still remember that. And it was by myself, and I was like, oh. But I was at ease for a second because she was suffering because she had something called polylipidemia, which is a disease where your red blood cells. Cancer is white blood cells multiplying. She had a version of it where her red blood cells were multiplying. She had to have her blood drained every couple of months. Mm. And then she had a triple bypass and then a stroke. And then that was it. So that was all she wrote. And I was on the phone with her when she had a stroke. So that was not knowing what a stroke was at the time. That's why I knew when I had one what to do. And I think they were coming to get me to take me to another universe, but I wasn't ready yet. I had some work to do.
You still had a lot of love.
Still got a lot of work to do.
You still had a lot of love to give.
Yes. He did have some fuzz on his head at one point. Who are we talking about?
Gabriel said, "Wait, you had hair? Because you said your hair stood up straight."
Yeah, actually, no. To be honest with you, tell him the truth. Tell him.
Well, your hair grows back hella fast.
I have hair.
His hair, he does have hair.
I have a full head of hair. I shave it.
Mm-hmm.
And to give you an idea, hold on. See? It's all turning gray now, but.
Wait, why'd you do that hella quick?
Oh, because I don't need to make it, forever. So, yes, I have hair.
Oh, Bill Van Ram says, I sometimes smell my
grandmother's perfume. That means she's there with you, watching you. I mean, she wants you to know that she's there. And remember, you brought me a birthday card for my birthday.
Yeah.
And she put it on the table right next to.
No, you put it there.
And it keeps being knocked over and knocked on the floor. And then I told her, Diane, I said, my mom didn't celebrate birthdays.
Yeah.
And so you put a card right next to her, and it's kind of like, what the heck?
But it's
there.
It's been staying.
I put it back up today.
It fell again?
It was back on the floor again. Also, we had a problem when we were in Arizona. Someone kept unscrewing all of our trophies. Now, see this case right here? So those trophies, in those cases right now, they've been here a year, and none of them have become unscrewed. None of them have gotten loosened. But we're in Arizona at the place we stayed at. They would be unscrewed to the point where they were going to fall apart at least once a month.
Yeah.
We had to go back and tighten them up every single time.
That happened with our bed too.
That with our bed too.
Jeanette says, I heard Mom's voice the night we had her homegoing service. Take care of Darren, my brother, and Rick, my then fiance. 21 years later, it still gives me chills. Wow.
Hey, listen to this. John says, I feel betrayed. He had hair all along. I've always had hair.
He's always had hair.
I started shaving my head in the late 90s because I wanted to see what it looked like, and I loved it. I loved it. The shaved head.
Did you think you looked hot?
No, I just loved it. It was easier. You got to have a head to have it shaved. You ever see somebody shave their head? It looks like the Grand Canyon, little crevices all over the place.
No.
I'm like, dude, don't shave your head because you missed some spots.
Wow.
You got to get in the crevice, get the melted butter out.
You are so random.
Yeah.
It was Diane messing with you in Arizona. Nope, it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Yeah, I mean, technically, you never said you didn't have hair. I never did. People drew the conclusion that I was bald. And I love the bald head look. But I also didn't like the fact that now we'll get
no.
What?
Oh, so, no, go ahead.
What'd you say?
No, so God Bless America said, when a big moth is in the house, I heard it means your loved ones are visiting you before or after death. I think didn't I just kill
You just killed it.
I just killed that moth last night.
She hates insects.
Well, you tried to kill the moth first, and when you did, it fell on the floor, and then I killed it.
What I normally do, though, with bugs.
You normally put it out the door, but not with the moth. Oh,
yeah.
My gosh. Wait, did I kill a relative?
Oh, yeah. Anyway, back to being bald. Let's not get into killing moths and relatives. Is that I shaved my head in the 90s, and the picture of me going to the Emmys with my head shaved. And I had on a tuxedo, and I was standing next to a Jaguar. I'll show the picture one day. And that was my first time going bald. Did you see that?
What?
Our camera light flashed.
Oh no, it's because I killed the moth.
Yeah.
Huh?
Like a moth to a flame brought by the fire.
Oh my gosh.
My love is here. I deserve your desire.
I'm getting scared.
That's
Stop.
the way love goes.
Okay, stop.
Okay. All right. So the last time he did the podcast without something on his head was December.
Wait, we did a podcast on Christmas?
He was in fact bald. Yeah, I do. I shaved. Okay. So remember we went to a barbershop the other day, and I wanted to get my head so okay. I went and asked him how much it cost to shave my head bald. He said $75.
And you just say your hair's not even thick.
$75 to just. You know what? I got clippers in the back room. I just do it myself. But I always have this bad knack of doing it. Taking off.
He always does it right after I clean the sink.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave my mark. You know how dogs spray that area? I spray it when you.
Yeah, but you don't clean the sink though. I clean the sink. So when you do it, you just leave it there, and then I have to clean it. You should just clean after yourself.
Well, thank you, Mom.
You're welcome.
Like I'm off to a plane.
You're welcome. I hit my hand.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless Mary. Say I look fine. Thank you.
Do you wax it?
No, I just shave it. It's nice and it's nice shiny. I put some.
Lord Frieza, I tell him he does sometimes, and sometimes he does not.
I will wear a bald head if I shave my head good, I won't wear a hat. I'll just keep it bald.
Diane, you should clip his hair for him and then make him clean the sink. If I clipped his hair for him, I might hurt him.
I told her I'm going to shave her head when she sleeps. Little TH.
He calls me TH, I call him BH. Do you know what TH and BH are? Should we tell him or no?
Yeah.
BH stands for big head, and he calls me TH because he says I have a tiny head.
You got a tiny little head, little tiny
It's
head.
not that tiny.
It's one little tiny head.
You have a gargantua head.
I know I do. Because I have.
Tilly behaving badly.
Oh, by the way, I went to play with the athletics the other day. That was fun.
Oh, that was fun.
That was
You're
fun.
looking like Ricky Henderson over there.
I know.
Ricky Henderson even gave you a thumbs up.
Well, you know what? To be fair, that thumbs up was from
That thumbs up
2012
was years ago. he's actually like.
But I will say this: when I met Ricky Henderson, what's the first thing he said?
Who's behaving badly?
Nope.
Oh,
He said, nope. He said, I'm not behaving badly.
Oh, I'm not behaving badly. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway.
Bill Van Rem says, "Shave in the shower. Don't drop the razor."
So how many of our foreigners are still here? How many people? Is our French visitor still here, or did she leave? Because we want
I think we scared them.
I don't think so. I think we're gonna, in honor of our French visitor, we're gonna have some French fries and some French toast.
Oh my gosh, that's so rude.
What?
Because that's not even French food.
Oh. How's that rude, though? I don't know that.
Okay, so Laura Friesen says, Diane, now that you mention it, it does look like he has a big head and yours is smaller, but I think that is because his beard makes his head look
Bill says, this is one of your best episodes. I enjoyed this night. Well, thank you. Leave a tip. Support your favorite, what do you call it? Podcaster.
I don't see that response.
I see it. I'm looking right at it. I'll post it for you.
Betty says, behaving baldly.
All right, guys.
Oh, gosh, that's hilarious.
I want to leave this note with this being one of the best episodes. We don't want to mess it up for it. Diane said something messes it up. So, what? You always say something messes it up. Last week, you were going to leave.
I said something that messed up our podcast.
Last week, you were going to leave.
No, that was the week before last week.
No.
When William said, it's like you don't get along.
No, last week when I kept repeating everything you said.
That was the week before
No,
last.
you said repeat it again, I'm getting up and leaving.
That was the week before last week. Ask Gabriel. That was the week before last.
All right, fair.
Yeah.
Totally baldly Banderson. Okay.
Baldly Balderson?
Okay, I'm gonna say this because we have to. Remember, if you're here, you can thumbs up on YouTube, or whether I just posted a new video, go there, like it, share it. The key is sharing it. I'm on Twitter, Stanley Roberts. Your website,
nourishmyheart.net.
And
nourishmyheart _ on Instagram and Twitter or X.
She's been trying to get more engagement on her. Oh, thank you. God bless America. Ooh, $5.
Peach mango pie. Ooh, we haven't had that in a little while.
Yeah, because she won't let me go get it.
That's not true.
She goes, you can't eat that yet. You got to have some protein first.
I always tell them you should eat a meal before having sugar. Okay, you're hurting my little holistic nutrition heart.
I love you so much.
I'm trying to nourish your heart, and you're over here like, she tells me to eat protein.
So hey, post the link to this podcast on my okay, thank you for doing that.
Thanks, Jeanette.
But the videos I've been doing on how long do you have facial hair? I've had facial hair since the 90s.
He's had facial hair for as long as I've known him.
And it turned white in the early 2000s. I mean,
yeah, because I met him in 2006.
And it started turning. Well, when I met her, it turned white.
Not true. Okay, when I met him, this part was black, and this part was like a mixture of black and white.
What do you have on your finger? It smells good. What is that?
Okay, this is very weird.
What is that? Ooh, that smells. You got lotion? That smells good.
I don't smell anything.
I do. Ooh, baby.
Well, I'm glad you didn't say my finger stinks.
No, it smells good. Yeah, that's my finger. Like, get that finger off my finger. That's you.
That is totally true. Your finger stinks.
Stink. What you know with that finger? You wash your hands.
Oh gosh. Okay. Goodbye, guys.
Smells like boogers.
Oh,
now we get. So I got to say this.
Oh God.
You got. I know. Here's my favorite speech of the night. You guys can be anywhere right now, any place in the world. You can be watching anything else you want, but you're here with us, and we appreciate it.
Yes, we do. Thank you very much
And
for being here
if
with
I
us.
said something to offend you, oh well, it is what it is. Because I'm not here to. I don't sugarcoat. And I'm one of the things about me is that you'll learn that I'm a very honest person. If you don't want to know the answer, don't ask me the question because I will answer it. And but that old saying, if you don't have something nice to say, don't say anything at all.
Yep.
I just said I don't want to. If I have something nice to say, just keep my mouth shut. But the truth being told is that I wish more people were honest and not trolling more. But like I said, you could be here and you're here with us, and we appreciate it, and we thank you. If he said something to offend, then he's doing his job. But I'll tell you in a heartbeat. When I go out there and I do these, here's what people think about me. In the real world, people think that all I do is think about people doing bad stuff.
That's not true.
But wait, that's all they think about when they see me.
All they think about is your job.
Yeah, that's all I do. And they can't get past the point that I have an actual real life.
Yeah.
That
and
actually,
then he's not constantly.
I'm not constantly looking for something
to do badly.
I'm looking for content, but I'm not going okay, who can I?
Yeah, he's not like targeting people.
I don't really, if you're doing something half the time.
I'm not kidding when I say things fall in his lap. Like he will just see something and be like, oh my gosh, like, and we're not looking for it.
No, it's
cool. It's kind of scary.
Reporter for Channel 4, Maureen Kelly, asked me to give her a ride one day, and she never wrote me again after that. She never jumped in the car with me again.
Because you attracted a lot
Because she said, oh my God, you are like a SHIT magnet. Things just happen around you.
That's that.
And it literally just happened. I'm like, wait a minute. So I just brought something, and I put a link on YouTube, on Facebook. I brought a body camera. Give it to me. It's right there. Can you grab it?
Oh, yeah.
So I brought a body camera. You know why? Because sometimes things happen so fast that I miss what's happening. And I can't go back and say, can you do that again? So I'm still testing this. It's not in production yet, but I'm testing it right now. I just got it a week ago off of Amazon. I got a link on my Facebook, on my YouTube. No,
on your Amazon.
On my Twitter.
Oh, on your Twitter.
To this, it's called a Cam Pro, and it's funny because when you're like, let's say Diane right now, her head exploded, and I was wearing this. And I missed it, and I go, I can't believe I missed her head exploding. Right?
Dang, you wouldn't even call 911.
No, I was like, oh my God, I missed it. See, that's just it. I can literally record your head exploding while calling 911 at the same time.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because you can set it back 30 to it
goes back 30 seconds to a minute. So I get her head exploded, but I missed it. But I pushed the button and it goes backwards and you see the head explode. And I go, I got it. And I posted a video today and the audio was overmodulated. And it was, I think you need to fix the time because the video posted was taken during daylight. But yeah, I'm testing it, Gabriel. I know you want everything for me to be perfect. I understand that. You want me to be perfect. You want me to sing Kumbaya to a group of Girl Scouts while we're baking marshmallows over an open fire and Jack Frost nipping in our nose. I get it. You want all that. But you're not going to get perfect for me. I'm human. I make mistakes. I have hair, and I make mistakes.
What is happening?
I have hair, but I make mistakes. So anyway, until I figure this whole thing out, I tried to download the software, but it didn't work. So I pushed the button back, and I catch it. So I caught the lady in the crosswalk, and she almost ran me over. And I was like, hey, don't worry about me. I don't need these legs.
I don't need these legs.
I don't need these legs. No, it's just a set of legs. I can get another pair when I go to my next planet.
Put this over here in case my head explodes. It won't catch it.
No, it's not on right now.
No, but I'm putting it over here.
Okay. Anyway, Mr. Badley, but Gabriel Chappelle needs to make some mistake.
Yeah, he did make a mistake.
Oh, he did. What did he make?
Gosh, what did he do? I already forgot, but I remember he made a mistake. Oh, he said that your stroke was 5 years ago.
Yes, it was. How long?
But it was actually 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Stanley, I like your SFPD hat. I have
SFSD.
Oh, thank you. You know what? I do like the hat. Only thing I don't like about the hat is one thing.
Is it too tight?
No.
For your BH?
No.
What?
Well, I don't like snapbacks.
Oh, is it a snapback?
It's a snapback.
Oh yeah, he has a BH.
So the snapback for me, I get the last 2 notches. That's it. That's when you know your head too big.
Oh shoot!
What?
2.7 earthquake in San Jose just now. My Diane Cybertruck reaction photo frame fell down.
Oh wow, 2.7. That's a baby.
Oh
quake.
my gosh! When I reacted to the Cybertruck,
That's a baby quake.
that's an ugly truck.
So Jeanette, go to my Twitter, and the video I posted of the lady in the crosswalk. Down below, there's a link that shows you the dash cam, the body cam. Now I did research on it, and it comes up as being one of the best. And so I got it. I used my points to pick it up with, and I'm liking it so far. So, and this is it. I actually posted in the windshield of the car. So when I'm driving, it's sitting there, and then if something happens and I miss it, I just touch the button, and it goes back a minute, and I have it, and I come home and I can download it.
Mm-hmm.
If I were to build the perfect body camera, I would build one that you can use Wi-Fi.
No, there's no earthquake.
Oh, okay.
It's a terrible joke. There's no earthquake.
Okay. You could use a Wi-Fi and then download it on your phone and then post it like instantly.
Mm-hmm.
And then remember the guy that was talking smack to me the other day? And then I said, oh, by the way, I'm wearing a body camera. And his face went blank.
Oh, yeah.
He was joking.
Yeah, he was joking.
He was joking with me. But he was giving me all this grief,
Yeah,
right?
he was. And then you're like...
And I was like, do you not notice that I'm wearing a body camera? And he goes... And he looks like... Because he was shocked.
Yeah.
He didn't realize it. He didn't even notice that the camera was there. Because what was the first thing you saw when you saw the camera?
What's the first thing I saw?
When you saw it, oh, everybody's gonna be like, what's that?
Oh yeah.
And what's happening?
And nobody, only one person noticed.
And you know why? Yeah, and he showed me how to fix that too.
Yeah.
So people are like this.
God Bless America says, is that 720p or full HD?
It's full HD. Full HD, and it also, like I said, it can record. It's 64 gigs, what I have, and it can record for up to 12 hours. Before the battery dies. Mm. Everything's integrated, so you don't have a card to pop out. You plug it in and you download the footage on your laptop. And then you dump it onto a timeline, and then you do it. Now, it's 15-minute increments. In other words, it'll record for 15 minutes before it starts recording again. So in other words, I can't make it shorter. I wish I could. Like dash cams in our cars record 3 minutes.
3 minutes. I think you could do 1 minute also.
1 minute.
Yeah, 1 minute's too short. Yeah. Can you use your affiliate link to get that camera?
You can use the affiliate link and you get the camera. Now, I've never done affiliate links, and I don't know how this even works, but apparently I'm supposed to post it, and I have to tell people it's an affiliate link. Mm-hmm. I can't just post it like, ooh. So you know this, but yes, go there, and I can't post it here because I don't know how to do that. But anyway, guys, I know you guys got to go to bed. It's late. Windows compatible only right now. I don't know.
Oh, it's not MacBook? I don't know because we never tried.
They never said anything about compatibility, so I don't know. I just have Windows. So I don't use Windows. I use Chrome. And
isn't that the same?
No.
Oh, that's not
really?
The same thing. No.
So I have to Google and Windows and Microsoft. Same thing. No. Anyway. All right. I'm sorry.
All right. Good night, guys. Thank you for joining us again. We might not be here next week.
We don't know yet because Labor
sure.
Day. We want to go barbecue somewhere. If anybody's having a barbecue, let us know. We may want to pop in and eat your food. We'll bring some beer or something. We won't bring soda because you don't like sodas. I'm
mad at the way you said that.
What, beer?
No.
Pop in?
We might pop in and bring some food.
Some food.
No, and eat your food.
Eat your food. Hey, if you have a big enough barbecue and you invite us, I may even make some macaroni and cheese. Ooh, I know. Ooh, I know it. Yeah.
Baby Veronica is on that hip hop barbecue.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, she would be open too.
Oh yeah, we should go. Oh, you know what?
Oh, what?
Labor Day. Let's all meet at hip hop barbecue. Let's find out.
Okay, let's see. Let's double check she's open.
All right, so hip hop barbecue. If you're open, no barbecue in my house. I have a work Labor Day weekend. Oh, so sorry. So if we do it, we may end up hitting up hip hop. Hip hop.
And also put the affiliate link in your bio, says Bill Van Ram.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to make it. If anybody knows how to do this, because I want to do a generic affiliate link where you can go in there and anything you want. But I don't know if that's even possible. But yeah, I'll try to. My bio is full right now. but I'll see if I can squeeze in
Put
it.
it on your link tree.
I'll put it on link tree. Word to the mother.
That hurts.
Sorry.
All right. Labor Day is Monday, not Sunday. Yes, that is true. But because it's a long weekend, we're not quite sure if we're gonna make it. But we'll let you guys know.
Yeah, we'll let you. Well, you'll show up if we pop in. We're not saying no. We're not saying yes. We're saying maybe.
Yes.
We love you guys. We do. We do it from France all the way to Hong Kong, and every point in between.
And every state in the United States.
And the people that had a 4.0 earthquake in Lake County, Ohio, we thank you for joining us.
Wait, there's nobody on here from Lake County, Ohio.
But what if they see it?
Okay, that's true.
All right. There we go.
Okay, we love you guys.
Oh wait. God bless America. That's his name. My home, sweet home.
What are you doing with your hands?
I don't know. I'm like you, just don't know what to do with my hands. All right, guys.
Well, I don't know what I do stuff with my hands, but I don't show it on camera. Never mind. That sounded weird. I'm a boom. No. Go, babe. I'm a millennial. Go.
I'm millennial.
I'm a boomer. That really sounded weird, huh?
It did. I do a lot of things with my hands just not on camera. I'm like, ooh, really? Oh yeah.
Not what I meant, guys. Not what I meant.
We gotta log out now. We gotta see what she can do with those hands.
Oh. Oh God, I can't. Okay.
Woo.
We will go now. We're gonna go now.
All right, guys.
All right. Bye. Have a great week.
Remember,
My hands are here.
Remember, you are what you eat.
No, I don't have an OnlyFans Betty Veronica. Oh my God.
Hey now. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Millennial Boom with Diane Faith and Stanley Roberts. Millennial Boom and Reasons Why Aliens Will Never Invade Earth and Caught Misbehaving videos are made possible through viewer donations. Check out www.linktree.com/MrBadleyTV to see how you can help. See you next week.